Hey there, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video, and this is a paid request from Joseph. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a Patreon and a Cash App as well. People have asked about that. All those links are down below in the info box. PayPal is usually the best bet to do that. And for those who sent them, thank you. I'll get to it as soon as I can. It could be pretty much any type of video. And Joseph always been a cool guy, always been a nice, generous guy. Really do thank you, Jamrol. I never know if he wants me to say Jamrol or his real name Joseph. I guess I should have asked that, like the last quite a few times he said so. I apologize if you wanted one or the other. But he wanted me to do a video on my top 10 least favorite, top 10 worst A24 movies. And I would go about every horror film they've done. Now, here's the thing about A24 before I start the list. If I type up A24 films, number one, I know that they are just a company that for the most part they buy a film or, okay, you guys are doing a film, we'll just release it. So technically the people at A24 are not writing the films, they're not detailing the films, it's just a lot of times, especially for horror, the films they pick to release is not really in my wheelhouse, in my cup of tea, in my taste. But there are ones that I do like. If I look through the list, I did like Maxine. I did like Love Lies Bleeding. I did like The Iron Claw. I did like Everything Everywhere All at Once. I did like Good Times I Did Not Mind. What was it? The Disaster Artist. I remember not minding that one. Uncut Gems I liked. So there are films that they have released that I have not minded, that I've liked, that I've enjoyed, at least to some extent. But especially when it comes to their horror films, I hate that elevated horror shit. I find it dog shit. I find it pretentious. I find, like, most of these films, I could chalk up to, I think they're boring. Insanely boring. And I think pretty much every one of these is a horror film or trying to be a horror film of some sort. And I gotta be honest, there's a lot of these I don't remember a whole lot of details about because it's kind of, I watch it, I put it in the recycle bin of my brain, and I clear it out. So a lot of these I would have to rewatch to remember vividly what my thoughts were. But 3 minutes in, let's get into it. Number 10, The Front Room. I reviewed that recently. That's the film with Brandy. That one I remember a little bit more because I reviewed it not too long ago. It came out this year. It's her and her dickwad, twinkie shuffle, dickless, hopeless husband who I'm sure he would watch his wife get fucked in the ass and applaud just for being a witness to it. They have to take in that guy's mom, who's this religious zealot type of lady, which her performance is why I put it low on the list, because at least her performance, that old the older lady, the mom, I think it was stepmom actually, stepmom. I liked her performance. She tried, but a lot of the film is her being racist, her shitting her pants, and Brandy has to clean it up. There's more shots of them in the toilet than me if I had a case of diarrhea. It's like the movie itself had diarrhea, for how many times we go to the toilet. And it was trying to be comedy, but I just didn't think it was funny. And at least this, a lot of people seem to have not liked it, so I'm not alone. It got pretty low marks, at least for a film released by A24, so I can at least be glad for that. And Brandy, I'm sorry, Brandy's not an actress. She's not. I don't know who thought she could be a leading actress material, but they were wrong. Dead wrong. And she sucked. So the front room was number 10. Also, they brought this stuff of religious elements that you thought was going to be a lot more implied or implemented for the third act, and nothing really came of it, so it was just to be weird. Number 9, It Comes at Night. The only thing that comes at night is me under the blankets with some wet dreams. And that was more exciting than watching this movie. Because It Comes at Night, I'm like, if it comes, coming of the storm of sleep, the storm of sepsis, that you get sick, shit your stomach out, and then go to sleep. Because anyway, you don't go to sleep watching It Comes at Night. At least to me. If you love it, cool. All these films, if you love it, teach their own. Cool. Glad. I can only share my opinion. I just gave you plenty of films at the start of the video that I liked, that were newer films. Because I get that comment a lot. You just like films from the 80s. And I'm like, I can name plenty of movies each year, pick a year, but they don't want to listen to that because that hurts their narrative. I just gave you plenty of films released by A24 that I liked. I just think these films suck. It Comes at Night is boring as shit. I like Joel Edgerton as an actor. I get that it's supposed to be about how you deal with your neighbors and how you treat your fellow man and fellow woman, and it's about this disease, and they're living out in the middle of nowhere, and these people, they come in, but then, well, one of them get their kid sick, their son sick, and the tension that builds, the paranoia. It just amounts to a whole lot of nothing. You feel like characters could have been a lot smarter, could have done a lot more common sense things, which is a common thing in a lot of these type of movies, the elevated horror. And it's boring as shit. I liked George C. Scott's The Changeling. I liked Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. I can deal with a film that wants to be a slow burn, only this, I don't really have much of a payoff. It Comes at Night, false advertising. No one came at night. Not me, not you, and not them. No one came at night. False advertising, F on the F scale of fuck. Number 8, Killing of a Sacred Deer. This is another one that I vaguely remember, but at the same time I remember not liking it at all. That's why I put it on the list. And about like a younger teen wanting to get revenge on Colin Farrell. Actually, let me make sure. It was Colin Farrell, right? See, now I need to make sure. I think it was. Yeah. And something about the guy Colin Farrell played was a doctor. This kid blames him for screwing up his dad's health because he's a surgeon, but he screwed up, he was drinking or something, so he wants revenge, and somehow has his like poison that after so much time your eyes are going to bleed, and I don't remember what the hell the poison he had or how the hell he got it. I know it resulted in Colin Farrell having to be blindfolded, and he has to choose which family member to die, so they're all stumbling about and stumbling around because he can't choose, so he's got to go wildly. And I'm sitting there going, you're a surgeon, like, you know doctors, and you mean to tell me you can't get any touch with anybody to see what the fuck this is that's killing you? This team just happens to know all this, but you can't work with actual doctors as you work at a hospital and say, hey, someone has poisoned me and my family, do all the details, just get a cure going. But, and they shoot that teen in the face, but, you know, what do I know? I'm sure there's reasons. I remember there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, why is this person doing this and why is this person doing that? That's another common thing. People don't act like human beings a lot of these movies. They don't act like you and me. And that just annoyed the hell out of me. Number 7, case in point, Hereditary. Now, the reason this is a bit lower on the list is because I did think that the lead actress did what she could, and I'm bad with names, so I know I should remember her name. Toni Collette. Toni Collette did what she could. It was cool to see Gabriel Byrne, because it had been a while since I've seen him, since the days of End of Days and The Usual Suspects. I don't mind Gabriel Byrne as an actor, but it's just very boring story that I did not give a rat's ass about. I didn't care about the characters. I didn't feel any stares. I didn't feel any tension. I didn't feel any suspense. I just didn't feel anything watching a film like Hereditary. I just didn't get what people were saying. I didn't get what people were coming from. What comes to them being so scared. I'm like, what? What is it that I'm missing? I don't get it. What I remember is a dipshit teen driving. The little girl keep her head out of the window. She thinks she's a dog. Gets her head popped off like a Pez dispenser. And then the teen is so shocked, he just walks in and goes to bed. And at the end of the film, someone wears a crown like they're going to promote Burger King. So that's why I always keep saying it's the Burger King crown movie. Burger King, Burger King. I wish Burger King promoted the movie. That'd be hilarious. So again, that's the thing I remember, the Burger King ending. Yes. And that's what I got out of it. So, number 6, Tusk. It's Kevin Smith wanting to be weird for weird's sake. And this is the time where I'm hating Kevin Smith films. I love his early work, but this work, it's just terrible. It's not funny. Horrible characters. It just comes off as stupid of a premise. Because he got high on his own supply on his podcast with his buddy Scott Mosier. And they're talking about, they come up with this idea of what if someone put a want ad out. And then, hey, something to do with walrus. And what if I wanted to do stuff with you and you wear this walrus suit. And they just come up with this idea because they're high. And that's how it plays off. A movie made by someone who was high as a kite. Then you put in Johnny Depp playing one of the worst characters he's ever played. So irritating, so annoying. And then they brought him back for Yoga Hosers, Kevin Smith's, his second worst film. I think his worst film is Clerks 3. Justin Long plays an unlikable dip that I don't care what happens to his character. So there's no suspense. Michael Parks is a good actor, but I don't think he's given much material to work with in terms of good writing. Hella Joel Osment, all I do is know is just how much fatter he got. Yeah, I didn't give a rat's ass about anything in that movie. Tusk, I thought, was a piece of shit. Number 5, The Lighthouse. Willem Dafoe is jacking it, and he almost comes on Batman's face. Because he's up top in the lighthouse, jacking it. The cum seeps through, almost hit Robert Pattinson in the face. So the Green Goblin almost comes on Batman's face. That's the movie to me. And weird, pretentious visions. People having a thumb up their ass, waiting around for something to do. They fight at the end. I don't give a rat's ass what's happening. I was bored as shit. Completely overrated. I don't care about that director. I don't care he's doing Nosferatu. Don't give a rat's ass. Boring as shit. Don't understand the appeal. I don't know what's good, what's frightening, what's scary. I don't get it. Number 4, Midsommar. An overlong movie about a bunch of dumbasses that go into a wannabe Wicker Man situation where They have every sign in the phone book and any book in the fucking library. They have the entire library of warning signs, whether it be a person literally falling to their deaths, and all the people act so weird and funky and crazy, but all they have to do is argue about the goddamn school paper and the thesis. You stole my thesis. No, I didn't do this. You stole my paper. No, you did. You just saw someone die. You just saw someone fucking die, and you're arguing about your school paper and who stole what. Who gives a shit? Bunch of hippies going around taking too much LSD, having a circle jerk of bloody fandango. Give peace a chance, take a piece of wood and stick it up your ass. Don't give a shit about any of the characters. Don't care about the story. It takes a sweet ass time and makes my ass go to sleep watching it. So I gotta get up and walk away and hopefully never see the movie again. Number 3, Men, which I realize my review's not up. I don't know what happened. Maybe, I don't know. There was that whole Jennifer Lawrence thing where I took that video down. In case I was too mean, but, or personal. I don't know. Maybe someone will request that again one day, and I'll still be honest. But Men sucked. I hated the movie Men. It's a woman who sees her husband or her boyfriend, whatever, die in the most goofy fashion where he's falling slow-mo, but he's like outside the window. He's falling like... The way it's done slow is so laughable. It's so goofy, but it's supposed to be scary. Because they put it in slow-mo and he's falling... That's what it seems like. Just it looked like a damn ad for Calvin Klein or something. And it's one of those things where she goes to an area and every single person we see that's a guy is played by the same actor. Now, she obviously is not seeing these people as the same guy, because otherwise she'd be questioning, why do you look like him and you look like him? It's just all men are the same. Don't you get it? All men are the same, because all men are toxic. They have this toxic sensibility to them. They're toxic. Don't you see how toxic they are? God damn it. And then it tries to do, I don't know what you would call body horror, whatever the hell, with the person who's like keeps puked onto himself. I mean, when you're reminding me of Extro, I think Extro is a better movie than yours. That says a lot. So I didn't care. I didn't care about the story. Yeah, I did. Men suck. All men are the same. They suck. I felt I was being lectured. I felt like I was in detention for something I didn't do. That's what Men felt like. I was in detention because I have balls and a dick. Well, then you can suck it, men. Well, that's why I say suck it, man. No, you suck it, movie called Men. Number 2, Lamb. Don't think that review is up. I don't know what happened to that review. I know I reviewed it. I don't know what happened to it. Who knows? Maybe again, maybe one day someone will request it again. I don't know what happened to it, but Lamb is a story of two people that one of the sheep gives birth to something that has, a sheep head body, but part of them is human. And so they raise this thing, and nothing happens for the rest of the movie other than this one guy who's like the brother or something to her husband, tries to fuck her. And she's like, no, I don't want to cheat on him. Leave. And then, like, the mom is so adamant about this. This is my daughter. It's not your daughter, but I'm going to raise her as my daughter. Don't raise her as my daughter. And then the actual mama sheep comes by, and the human gets jealous of the damn sheep, and as the sheep get killed, murdered, because can't have a likable character. That's a common thing. Like, Men, Midsommar, Hereditary, Killing of a Sacred Deer. I don't give a rat's ass about any of the characters, so I don't care about the story. Now, yes, there could be exceptions to that. In A Violent Nature, for example. I like that because I like the gimmick. I like the idea. I like the simplicity of following a killer that's a Jason Voorhees type of killer, and you just seen him silently go through. Just something about that I thought was a gimmick that intrigued me enough that kept me involved. Now, I say it's a gimmick. If you enjoy this because it's a gimmick, okay, I just didn't see an enjoyable gimmick in it. But for the most part, not all the time, but for the most part, I want characters I give a shit about. Lamb, I didn't care. Then this guy who's like, I don't know, might as well call him Ramrod or whatever. He's got like a ram sheep head, but it's like human body, shoots the husband, takes the girl sheep away. The wife comes in. I'm sadder. If I go to Walmart and there's no fucking mellow yellow, I'm more sad than the way she reacts to some of these situations in this movie. So Lamb is such a dumbass film made by dumbass people, or at least by a lot of times a dumbass studio. And number one, Beau is afraid. I know that someone's afraid, because I sure as hell wasn't, for its 2.5 hour running time. I know that review is still up. And I don't know, for some reason people liked it. Joaquin Phoenix, he's a paranoid weirdo that doesn't want to do anything. He goes from situation to situation, and you wonder, what's the point of some of this crap? It results in, he goes to an attic and says he sees a literal penis monster. It's a monster made of balls and a giant dick crawling after him. At the very end, it's like he's in the middle where all these people looking down at him. It looks like he's getting ready to be in the fucking Phantom Zone with Zod and them from Superman the movie, where Marlon Brando, they cast the guy out. It looks like what if he's going to be with fucking Terrence Stamp in the in the Phantom Zone. Guilty. I was waiting for them to go guilty. It was so boring because it took forever to get anywhere because it was 2.5 hours. Maybe even closer to 3. I can't remember. It was at least 2.5 hours. I'm like, why does this need to be this damn long? Why? And the director, I made a movie so people could hate it. Well, congrats. Then don't be surprised when someone like me says it. And there's other films. I mean, The Witch I did not like, but I don't remember a damn thing about it. Maybe one or two other, a few others, but those are ones that popped in my head when I did this list. So 10, The Front Room. 9, It Comes at Night. 8, Killing of a Sacred Deer. 7, Hereditary. 6, Tusk. 5, Lighthouse. 4, Midsommar. 3, Men. 2, Lamb. And 1, Beau is Afraid. Again, I know that review is up. Let's see, when did I do that review? Beau is Afraid. Oh, a year ago. So there you go. But yeah, if people like it, that's cool. But ain't for me. My review of Midsommar is still up, if you want to see that too. It Comes at Night, that review is still up. So my reviews for It Comes at Night and Midsommar and The Front Room, those are still up for those interested in giving those a look. So there you go. That's about it, Bubba. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.